Hey guys, wanted to welcome you this evening to I Am Bulldog. Thanks for joining the nation. Got some things we're going to cover tonight. So last week we were working on Bulldogs as therapy dogs, and it didn't come across the way it should have. Had a few technical failures, and wanted to give it another run tonight. And in the process of getting ready for tonight, it's actually turned into a 2-part series, Bulldogs as therapy dogs. Okay, so tonight I really want to share my story, my backstory. Everybody knows who I am today. Nobody knows who I was 40 years ago. Okay, so I'm going to share my story. Before we go any further, I want you guys that have just tuned in for the first time, this is a mission for bulldog lovers, bulldog enthusiasts, bulldog owners. I'm here to help you and your bulldog live a happier, healthier life, whether you bought a bulldog from me or not. Okay? Later in the show, the last thing we do, we call it a 3-point play. I pick 3 questions that you guys may have, and I'll answer them just on the fly. Okay? I've been with bulldogs exclusively. I've grown up around dogs my whole life, but bulldogs exclusively for the past 25 years. A ton of experience. If you do something for 25 years, guys, and you're not good at it, you need to get out of that and do something else. But I've really enjoyed my journey with the Bulldogs, okay? So I'm here to help you guys bring value, resources to you and your bully, okay? Right off the top, this is my girl Shiloh, okay? We have decided to keep her. She is a Merle. She has 2 glass blue eyes, and just wanted to show her off. She's a littermate sister to a girl named Cookie who went to Kirsten up in Chicago, and also she has a littermate brother named Moose, okay, and she went to the Tucker family in Mount Pleasant, Texas, okay. My name is Mike Tucker. They're not actually related to me, except through the Bulldog, I Am Bulldog Nation. So anyway, this is a littermate to those 2 dogs, Cookie and Moose. Wanted to mention some names tonight, guys. This journey is just getting started for me with the I Am Bulldog Nation. Everybody probably knows at one time it was Dragon Slayer Kennels. I was just a bulldog breeder, okay, and then that evolved into DSK Bulldogs, and now we've gone through a rebrand. I Am Bulldog, and that's where we are right now. But I really wanted to just reach out, myself and my co-host here, Shiloh, and express gratitude to my people, the I Am Bulldog Nation. I will look anybody in the face and say I have the most loyal fans, the most loyal customers, the most loyal people in the nation. And I want to mention just some names. The list is endless, but people that have known me for a long, long time. I wanted to mention Chet and Shay Dorman. Chet, I met Chet when he was just a college kid. They grew up, got married. They've got 2 kiddos now. It's just been a great experience with Chet and Shay. They've got 5 of our dogs. Like I said, he got the first one when he was still in college. So thank you, Chet, for your friendship. Kim Evans, Kim in Bridgeport, my sister from another mister. Kim, you've been such a blessing to me. Thank you, Cammie in Emory. Just all over the country, guys. John down in Florida, in Tampa. He has a couple of our dogs. Thank you for your relationship with the I Am Bulldog Nation. Vicky and Tony Leonardo, such a funny couple out there in Cali. Natalie and Joe Costa in California as well, a funny couple that have 3 of my dogs. Actually, no, I'm sorry, 2 of my dogs. Robin and Paul Boria up in New England, huge Patriot fans. It's been such a joy with your friendship. Tim up in Wyoming. Tim has 2 of our dogs. He's got a dog named Riggs, and he actually got Riggs' mother, Rosie, here just about a month ago. Tim's become a great friend. Tim, Rose, and Kathy, they've been in this journey with me. Thank you, guys. Mike, what are you trying to say? All you guys have made me better. I've enjoyed these Bulldogs immensely. Paige and Larry up in Ohio, thank you guys. And I'm going by memory. So there's hundreds of names, okay? But just the friendships. Jason Ackerman down in Naples, Florida is another guy that stands out over the years. Forgive me if I don't remember your names. There's a lot of new people. Of course, Melissa Tucker over in Mount Pleasant, who has Cookie Kirsten up in Chicago. Another fantastic guy, Mark Mitchell, and his wife up in Chicago as well. Mike up in New York. I kept saying he was from New York City. Actually, he's from the really cold city in New York. Honey, help me out. Buffalo. Yep, thank you. And Darren Brown. Yes, my brother. Man, Darren, here's the deal: when you start throwing names out, you forget somebody really important. Darren has been such a joy. He met me at a really low and challenging time in my life, and he has gotten 3 Bulldogs from us. And Darren actually flew down. I got to meet him in person. He's been not just a customer, not just a fan, but an awesome friend. Thank you for that, honey. Robert and Amanda down in Waco, Texas, they knew me pretty much from the start. And like I say, they've been with me on the journey. Hey, Shiloh, you're getting real comfortable here. But the names just keep coming, guys, all over. Another couple, Dee and Jeff in Italy. They have one of our dogs, DSK's Fury. I just talked to Dee yesterday about, this whole coronavirus thing and how it's impacting Italy. Anthony in Australia has been a really great friend over the years. Sherrick and Melissa out in Bermuda. Oh my gosh, I think those guys have bought and have at least 5 DSK, now I Am Bulldogs over in Bermuda. So, and they've flown over here a couple times to meet. It was such a joy, such a wonderful young couple. And I think about you guys, all of you, even the names that I can't remember because there's hundreds. I think about you guys all the time, the relationships that we've established, the growth that we've had together, the joy that these dogs have brought us, these Bulldogs, and just the growing process, guys, the connections I've made through these Bulldogs. These Bulldogs didn't happen to me. They happened for me. Are there any other names that are popping up on there, honey, that I need to shout out? No? Okay. Joel Gondara, yes. Joel is a new friend of mine with the I Am Bulldog Nation. I'm a huge fan of Joel, okay? And he's helping me along with this whole project. Oh, I gotta shout out to my homegirl Rhea up in Canada. Rhea is responsible for so much of what's going on social media, and she's a great friend. We've taken her in as our daughter. We love her. She's a very talented young lady, and I would never want to forget her. So that's not where I was when I first got into these dogs, guys, and I really wanted to share, and I'm going to do my best to keep it together tonight. So y'all give me a thumbs up. Say, Mike, keep it together tonight, because I wanted to share not who I am today, but who I was, okay, and how these dogs helped me. These Bulldogs saved my life. Every day, these guys enrich my life. These Bulldogs do, and really, that's all I'm doing here, guys, is simply giving back. I say often, if you don't have a Bulldog, you just don't understand. And it really is true. Bulldogs are the most space-invasive dogs in the world. They do not know or understand personal space. They are the most people-like. They are the most sensitive. And I just love them. But I wanted to share my story, because a lot of people ask, Mike, why, there's a lot of other things you could have occupied so much time to. there's other ways to make a living. Being a bulldog breeder, which is where I started, and now I'm reaching out in a deeper level in the bulldog community. But yeah, it's not always easy. I can't count the times that I've missed other things to do. And when I say do bulldogs, the whole thing that bulldogs involve. But it's such a joy. And I think here's why. I was reflecting on this and I really wanted to share. See, I don't claim to be the guy to always have it together. And I wanted to share my past and how these guys saved my life. See, I grew up in a broken home, guys. And before I go any further, I want to tell you all, we all have struggles. And like I said earlier, bulldogs didn't happen to me, they happened for me. Well, life didn't happen to me either. It happened for me, okay? So don't feel sorry for Mike Tucker. This is just my testimony. It's why I am the way I am, okay? So here we go. We got Shiloh all tucked in here now. So, so I was born into a very stormy situation as a youngster. My father was an alcoholic. And not a nice one. When he drank, he got very mean. It was just a lot of violence, a lot of cussing, a lot of very unstable things going on in the house. And my mother, I'm not going to say she was a prostitute, you guys, but when my father and mother finally split up, I remember the weekends, Fridays, Saturday nights, I would wake up and there would be 3 or 4 different men that I did not know in our house. Now, and they weren't sleeping, well, like I say, we'll just leave it at that. It was not a very wholesome environment for me and my 2 brothers, and just kind of tough. I really think kids should not see a lot of the things that I saw, and I was just a lost little boy. I gravitated to dogs. Dogs understood. Dogs were not judgmental. Dogs didn't have preconceived ideas of who I was because of the way my parents were. And there was just acceptance, and there was unconditional love. And time passed. My mom and dad had, they divorced. My mom tried to hang on for another year or 2 with us kids. And finally she had enough. Again, she came from a very, very rough background. And she dropped us off, me and my 2 brothers, a few blocks away from my grandmother's house. Which would be my father's parents. She wouldn't even take us up to the door and drop us off. She dropped us off a few blocks away from my grandparents' house and said, "I'm done with you guys, go live with your grandmother." And so we walked to Grandma's house, and Grandma and Grandpa, they took care of us for a short time, 6 months, maybe 8 months. I can't remember. I was about 8 years old. So a lot of it's blurry. But at my grandma's house, still the thing with the dogs. I was the kid that would, a stray dog, one that was running on the streets, I would bring him home. I remember hiding these dogs, in Grandma and Grandpa's basement. I remember, puppies. They're, just like now, people didn't always spay and neuter. So there were puppies born that were not planned, unnecessarily because of irresponsible owners. And so I would gather up any puppies and I would bring them home, any kind of allowance. Back then, you could take, glass Coke bottles, any kind of bottles. You could take them to the grocery store or the quick shop and you could sell them for 5-10 cents a piece. And so as a young guy, 6, 7 years old, you could make $3, $4, $5. And I would take that and I would buy dog food. I would buy dog collars, dog leashes. Dogs were my thing because they never hurt me. All they did was bring love and acceptance, and it was just a bond that was created at such an early age. I remember going into the freezer and stealing meat from my parents and my grandparents, loaves of bread. Food was just missing from the kitchen, and the adults couldn't figure it out. Well, it was me, and I was taking it to these little hiding places on the property, in the shed or in the basement or upstairs, and feeding these dogs. So it was just that's okay, honey. Yeah, we our tripod, you guys, didn't match what we were trying to do tonight, and so she's holding it, and so I appreciate your help with that, honey. So, by the way, everything I'm doing, you guys, I'm only 50% of the mission here with I Am Bulldog. My wife supports me wholeheartedly. She's always there, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of the camera. But anyway, so yeah, it was just always the dogs, and I really want to emphasize, you guys, that these are four-legged angels that God has sent to the earth for us, and they're not always cute puppies. Sometimes they get older and decrepit, and they go on, and we're going to see these guys again. I am very much in agreement with Billy Graham in regards to heaven, and whether you're religious or not, I'm going to spit this out there. Billy Graham says that God has all things good waiting for us in heaven, and if we love our dogs and we see that they're good, they'll be there for us in heaven. So although it's hard to let them go, we will see them again. So you be encouraged in that. I do not look at all forward to some of these guys going on to heaven, but I'll see them again, and I don't want them to be down here with me if they're in pain. So yeah, it was always a dog brought the understanding. It was a four-legged angel for me that didn't judge me, that was a listening ear, that would always go and explore with me. And like I say, I was just a poor little guy that didn't know what the heck was going on, in my world. So much was out of my control. The social workers realized that Grandma and Grandpa just were unable to take care of us. We were just three wild little Indian boys, and so the social workers from the state came and took us. By the way, I'll just make this plug: if you're a parent and you're not taking care of your kids, and their grandparents are having to take care of them, you need to be an adult and take care of your children. Okay, I'll just put that out there right now. These dogs have enough sense to take care of their own, and sometimes us people, we can't do that. Grow up and be a man and take care of your kids. But anyway, so the social workers, they came and got us. We went through some horrible times of foster care, and like I say, again, saw a bunch of junk that probably kids should not see. Ended up landing in an adoptive home, and it was always the love of the dogs, you guys. It was just a bond. These guys carried me, and I just wanted to share that part. More time went on. Back in the day when I was just a little guy, well, I couldn't afford a bulldog. These guys cost thousands of dollars, and so finally, we always had dogs. I always had dogs. My wife, she is a dog lover as well, and I don't have the struggle. Hey, girl, I don't have the struggle that a lot of you guys have. See, sometimes in some families, the wife is an animal lover, the husband's not. The other family household, maybe the husband loves the dogs and the wife doesn't so much. I'm lucky. I love these dogs, and my wife loves them too. And so, but all through my life, these guys have been a source of healing, truly, from the heavens, I believe. Positive energy. You see, these guys, they are so forgiving, because as a human, I do mess up. I'm not always, nice Mike. Sometimes I have a bad day. Sometimes I lose my cool. Those of you that know me the closest know that. And I always regret it, But these guys have always brightened my day. My boy Apollo, little Shiloh here, all these guys bring true healing, true acceptance, no judgment, and none of my dogs, I've said it before, have therapy dog paperwork, but all of them are therapy for me. And this was a little bit of a build-up for me to share these things. I wanted you to know while we're just getting rolling, guys, with the nation, kind of where I come from, and if I could encourage you to get a bulldog, because these guys are the most jovial, the most clownish, and the most human-like personalities. They're just my kind of dog. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now next week, this is somebody that I didn't mention their name. Kara and Umberto Potts. Okay, here's the story with Kara. Next week, Kara is going to share, she's going to come on here at 8 p.m. next Tuesday and share her story about her boy Zeus as a therapy dog in their family. She has an amazing testimony. Tell you something about Kara. So whenever they were, checking around and inquiring with me and asking all the questions about bulldogs that people ask, it was always Umberto. He was calling, he was grilling me, and he wanted to know this and that, and we had 2 or 3 discussions and all this, working out all the details, how to raise little Zeus up and stuff like that. And so Kara and Umberto brought their 2 kiddos here to the house, and when they walked in the door, Kara just took charge. She's truly an alpha female type of a gal. Umberto just couldn't get a word in, and that was like a year ago, and he still hasn't gotten a word in since. I haven't talked to Umberto since then. It's always Kara. She's such a funny girl, right, honey? And the funniest people in the world, you guys, are people that don't know they're funny. She's not trying to be funny. She's just a funny person. She has a lot to share about how her boy Zeus has helped her. And so that's next week. We're going to bring her in live, and she's going to share her testimony. So thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I believe just me sharing this has brought healing to my heart, because really there's only, like I said, a handful of people that know my past. And not that I'm hiding it. It's not something that I really talk about much. I don't really like to talk about it. I'm mainly a guy that likes to look through the windshield, not in the rearview mirror. But I just wanted to let you guys know how bulldogs saved my life. They continue to. I have tried to get away from these dogs. They won't let me go. And I look forward to our relationships growing. If I forgot to mention your name tonight, just pop it up there, and I'll come on this feed and make a public apology, because your relationships have been a part of my joy, my fulfillment in life, and I'm always here for you guys. You can ask anybody that has contacted me. I have a coaching program, okay? I guarantee that a monthly fee will be less than a vet visit. If you desire to have a litter, I guarantee that my coaching for that start to finish project is less than the cost of a puppy. So in other words, if you lose one puppy because you didn't join my coaching sessions, you should have joined my coaching sessions, okay? So at this time, if there's any questions, like I say, I'll pick 3 questions. I want to help. I want to give you guys good information so that you and your bulldog can have a happier and a healthier life. Honey, do we have any questions?
Not yet.
Okay.
We have a lot of people that appreciate you sharing your story.
I appreciate you guys. I thought about it long and hard. I've been wanting to do this for a few months, you guys. And like I say, it's part of me that most people don't know about. And when I say most, I mean like hardly anybody. There's just a few of you out there that do. I have people that I work with Oh, that's another guy. My ex-boss. Now, I say ex because he's moved up in the ranks. But I have my boss named Brett. He bought one of our dogs. He's another great friend, great fan. He's a hero of mine. Great, solid family guy. He bought a dog from us. Chet and Shay, if you're on here, you now have Chumley. And so this is a funny story about my boss. He got this dog from us, and he wanted it for his family. And see, Chumley, he's retired now. Chumley was like 85 pounds, and I bred Chumley to our little girl, Little Duchess. Well, the reason we called her Little Duchess is because she was small. Duchess was like 38 pounds, okay? So a 38-pound female, 85-pound male. My best guess is a male that he would get from me, that my boss would get from me, would be about 65 pounds. Brett gets this dog, and by the time the dog is 8 months old, he's like 85 pounds. The dog's name is Tucker. Another funny story. Brett comes home, and his wife and family said, "Hey, we picked out a name for Tucker." No, we picked out a name for the dog, and he's like, "Well, what is it?" And they're like, "Tucker." And he's like, "Tucker? You do know that the guy we got the dog from's name's Tucker?" They didn't even know it. So now, when their dog Tucker is acting a fool at their house, it's like, "Tucker, quit doing this." They're always getting onto Tucker, and it's like, that carries over to the workplace. Really not. But anyway, the finished story on Tucker. No, he didn't stop growing at 65 or even 85 pounds. This dog is at maturity now at like 26 months, 105 pounds. The dog outgrew, the dog Tucker weighs as much as his mother and his father put together. And this was supposed to be a 65-pound dog. So I'll say this in public. My boss didn't fire me for selling him a dog that grew so big. I had no idea. Sometimes you get these throwback genes. As much as we plan and predict and lose sleep, you guys, as breeders, and I do, because I want the perfect match that's going to bring out all the good traits that my customers are going to like, I still get surprises sometimes. So 105-pound Tucker out of a 38-pound Little Duchess. Funny story. Any other questions tonight, guys?
No, but Darren Brown shared that he had Chumley's son. He was blue, and he was 110 pounds.
Yeah. Chumley was, well, he still is alive. Chumley was a beast of a dog. He looked like a gorilla strutting around in the yard, you guys. Just muscle, thick shoulders, and he was an incredible dog. He's still a handsome rascal to look at, even as an old man. But he produced monsters. There were some genes back there. I think he had rhinoceros in his genes back there, right, Darren? But he produced healthy dogs, just Mack truck looking bulldogs. But these guys thought they were King Kong. I mean, bulldogs with attitude. A lot of dog. When I say a lot of dog, very macho, lots of bravado. He thought, Chumley still thinks he owns the world. And Chumley's like 10 years old. So, but what a very beautiful animal. Anything else? Not at all. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys in the nation here. Going to keep bringing you guys good stuff every Tuesday night. Next Tuesday, Kara Potts here. She's a funny girl, and she's got an awesome bulldog as a therapy dog. We'll see you. Take care. Guys, thank you for tuning in to this segment of I Am Bulldog. I hope that it brought you and your bulldog value. If it did, please hit the like button below, and also feel free to share this video with your other bully friends. And if you really want to dig in and see more cool videos from the I Am Bulldog Nation, hit the subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.